Welcome back to the TD9 podcast. As usual, I'm your host Jay, and today we have the No Kings protest.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions.
Marching, trying to show that they're like they represent Orlando or like they represent Florida. They don't.
Will not be televised. Will not be televised. Will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Okay, I'm here with Miss Sandy.
Yep.
And I'm wondering, what brings you out here today?
Because I believe in everything they're marching for and more.
Okay, what kind of things do you feel that Trump is abusing power-wise?
It's everything. It's hard to put a limit on how much he's willing to abuse. But the Constitution, he's throwing in a fire. It's a dumpster fire. He's just really overriding all of what the Constitution says and what citizens really want and need.
Gotcha. If you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for before?
Always Democrat.
Okay. I was just wondering, there's some people out here who maybe like changed their mind or, as this second election from the first time, see if things have changed for him. Any other changes in mindset, I would say.
The first time he ran, my husband voted for him.
Okay.
And it wasn't too far into the first term when he said, enough is enough. This is not right.
Is your husband here today?
No.
No. I was like, I would love to get his opinion on it. But thank you again, Miss Sandy.
Thank you.
All right, I'm out here with Ben. First off, love the outfit, love the hat, man. What brings you out here today to the No Kings protest?
It was just something that was just too important to not go to. I just really felt that it was really important to show up, especially and for that visual symbol of American revolution, especially against kings. And just with everything going on, especially with what's going on in California with the protesters and the president sending in the National Guard and threatening to send in Marines and arming to them. And it's not right, it's evil. It's just something that, with what's happening now, it's too important to not show up to these protests and to stand for what's right.
I do love that this one is peaceful. I haven't heard any yelling and screaming, besides the chants, of course. Is there anything else that made you realize that, okay, for yourself, Trump's not using his power as a president, but as a king, or trying to?
Mostly like a dictator, for sure. That's how he's acting, especially with a parade on his birthday for the military around the White House. It's a disgraceful show. It's something that you would see in North Korea and other countries that do military parades to show their force. The United States is the most powerful country in the world and the strongest army. They don't need to show a parade of force. And also, there's more important things happening with our nation than the president needing to do a parade.
Gotcha. All right.
Especially with families being ripped apart, immigration and just kidnapping people and even taking citizens at this point that they may have been immigrants and then they became citizens and they're still taking them anyways.
Gotcha. So I do have a question on the migrants that are coming in. What do you feel like is a better solution of what's going on? Because they are deporting in mass. So just curious on what people think about what we should do about it.
With immigration?
Yeah.
It wasn't, I don't believe that immigration was this massive issue that was to begin with. There's a lot of people from other countries that live here. Sure, there's a lot of undocumented people, but there's still people that were just living here. There's citizens that are criminals. They try to paint it all, just by calling them illegals when they're just undocumented people and just families, and then just painting them out to be criminals when they're just people and people that want to live here.
Gotcha. Good. And then, go ahead.
No, sorry. I think that's it.
Just one last question. What, I guess I'm trying to think how to word it. What do you feel about the partnership between Trump and Elon Musk?
That whole thing was a giant joke, embarrassing, and
okay.
Should never have happened. Elon Musk should never had any position, anything in our government to begin with, at all.
Gotcha. Any reasoning for it?
Anybody.
Don't say any. Oh, you just answered my question.
He was just appointed by the president, like he was one billionaire that was taken up by the president and then given all this authority over parts of our government and we shouldn't have even been in the first place.
Gotcha. All right, appreciate you, Ben. All right, thank you, Ben. All right, I'm here with Pepe Domingo Castaño.
Si, senor.
All right. Pepe, what brings you out here today, man?
So I heard about the No Kings protests, and like all throughout Trump's presidencies, I've been very against this man. As an immigrant myself, I'm a citizen, and I want other people to become a citizen. And I know how hard it was for me and my family to become a citizen, and I want to make it accessible for everyone. And I think he is going the wrong way.
Gotcha. What do you think we should do for the migrants coming over?
Well, you got to ease out the process. It's a lottery system. It's whoever gets lucky gets the papers, and much less then. Once you have your visa, then you have to apply for a green card, which they charge you to renew it, and then after renewing it, you have to get a letter from the state and the federal government saying, hey, we want you to become a U.S. citizen, and then take a test and go through that whole process. And you can only get that letter after you've been living here at least 7 years. I remember when I got my citizen, there was people there that have been fighting for their citizenship 40, 50, 60 years. There's an 80-year-old woman that day. It should not take 60 years to become an American citizen.
Gotcha. All right. Well, what was your process, becoming a citizen?
Well, I got lucky, and my parents are from Spain, and they got offered a job here during the 2008 crisis. And since then, we were really lucky under my mom's work visa, and then from there, we went through the process. There's nothing more than luck.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to say we fought necessarily hard other than the thing, but now that I am old enough to fight hard, I will fight for the people that can.
Gotcha. You said from Spain. Okay. Is that related to your shirt in any way?
Yes. So this is actually the Spanish national shirt. I was wearing this to become the day I became an American citizen. This is the flag I got when I became an American citizen. On my citizenship paper, I am wearing this shirt, waving this flag. And today is one of those days which I am disheartened as an American to say that this is the country that we live in. We need to do better.
So you love this country like everybody else?
I love this country. A lot of people tell me, if you don't like it, why don't you go back? And I think, one, because if you go back and you fight and you go in fear, then you're not going to stand for those that don't have that luxury. So I think it's much more important that we are here today in Munn Park arguing against this, protesting against this, using our First Amendment right.
Gotcha. There's going to be other protests later. You planning on coming to those?
Absolutely.
All right, maybe I'll catch you again. Thank you again.
Hopefully. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Did not.
I got you.
I did not vote for him the first time. I did not think he was the right person for the job. And he has proved me correct.
What kind of things do you feel that he's abusing his power for or over?
He's overriding lawful orders by the Supreme Court. He has taken it upon himself to send people in to disappear people off the street and take them off to foreign jails, and they have to go through this big long process of trying to get him back in the States to where he can have the due process that all of us enjoy. These are our rights, and they're being walked all over.
What kind of solutions do you suggest we find for the migrants coming over?
Migrants coming over, I understand that is a problem. I also understand there's a way of doing this in a peaceful way without people being shot, without people being killed, and without going and raiding our schools, taking people that are women that are babysitting children and taking them and just snatching, taking parents away from children, leaving them sitting there crying on the sidewalk. What is this?
Yeah, I get
what
that.
America are we talking about here? That this kind of stuff goes on and people are normalizing. I had a guy over there say, "Oh, he's got it right. He's talking about a republic. That's what this is. It's a republic." I said, "That's right. It's a democratic republic." Oh no, he wanted to argue that. There's nothing to argue about. It is a democratic republic. The Republicans actually came into being during the Abraham Lincoln era. They were formed to stop him from overstepping the bounds of the presidency. And here we are now. They've completely about-faced and they're signaling, hey, we're okay as long as we're winning. It doesn't matter what he does. We're going to back him. He's our guy. Doesn't matter what he does, how he stomps all over our rights. He's our guy.
Earlier you were telling me something about Canada. Could you go that over again?
Talk about making enemies and alienating us from our closest allies that have been here since before the Declaration of Independence was even signed. We had the French and Indian War. People came from Canada to help us against a king. And here we are again, faced with a king, or a king wannabe, dictator wannabe, whatever you want to call him. Call him an oligarch, call him whatever you want to. He's walking all over the presidency. He's shitting all over our Constitution, and he's trying to take away people's basic fundamental rights.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Cliff. And you mind showing your sign in the camera? See if we can get that in there. Thank you. Okay, right now I'm here with Jarvis.
Jarvis Washington.
Yes, sir. And what brings you out to the No Kings protest today?
For solidarity, but ultimately it's a lot bigger than solidarity for individuals that are going through cases like immigration and just cases involving the law. For me, it's about due process and making sure that every individual has their chance underneath the law to be able to see their day in court.
Gotcha. Do you feel the same way as some of these other protesters are feeling that Trump is abusing his power?
I think Trump abuses a lot of power. I think Trump makes statements and then walk them back. I don't see how Trump wants to solve a problem when he's getting rid of immigration judges. I don't see how he wants to solve a problem when he had the chance, when Biden was in office, to tell the Republicans to push forward that border bill. I don't see how a lot of individuals on the Democratic or Republican side right now are seeing a problem with immigration, as they're the individuals that are right now the backbone behind our farming, our heavy infrastructure when it comes to construction. I definitely believe that everybody should come in the country legally, but I do believe if they're here illegally, then they should have their day in court. They should be able to go through due process, and we should put money into the federal government and stop firing immigration judges. That doesn't make sense. If we want a faster process, if we want to get these people in, let's not fire immigration judges. Let's not shut down potential camps. Let's not get rid of the resources that would allow us to be able to move these processes a lot faster.
Gotcha. You got to answer my next question. I was going to ask, what do we think we should do, for the migrants coming in? Just speeding it up. You said not firing the judges. Is there anything else that's on your mind is about Trump abusing his power?
I mean, the reality is Trump's family is immigrants. Trump's wife is an immigrant. We're a country of immigrants, and most of the individuals who are here that are not of color are first and second generation Americans. So a lot of the conversations that they're having is kind of like putting a knife in their own eye. If we want to get rid of everybody that wasn't here for a certain amount of time, we will lose a lot of percentage of our country. I think the conversation isn't so much about do we like immigration, is more of where the individuals or what countries the individuals are coming from that are integrating. We just seen Trump send an invitation to the white South Africans. So I don't really think America has an issue with immigration, because America for so long has benefited from immigration. So the white man in America has got his wealth from immigration, and right now we're building businesses and industries off of immigration and the labor from immigration. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I just believe that if we're going to have this idea of America, allow due process to happen and allow everybody that has been in here. A lot of people are seeking asylum. It's a lot of things that are going on around the world that our country doesn't have to deal with. So I do believe giving individuals that opportunity to stake their case out, not shutting down resources and facilities that could potentially house these individuals, and not getting rid of immigration judges when we're trying to speed the process up.
Gotcha. Last question. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a little bit. So you said that they let immigrants in from South Africa, and they were coming in from, they say, the threat for their lives. And what about the ones coming from South America as well?
I think everybody coming here with a real case of asylum should be able to seek that asylum. I think a lot of individuals are looking for opportunities, whether or not they have it or not. This is the greatest country in the world, and a lot of people see that and their eyes gleam. So I don't blame an individual that's not from here that wants to come here, but I do want them to do the right way. You know, it's a lot of things. Due process is big for me. So there's a lot of things that I want to see happen as far as the federal government, but for the individuals that are coming here, I want to see them do it the right way. If they came here and they didn't do it the right way, no, I don't want to see them kick it out because it was a reason that they came. Let's expedite these processes. Let's put more resources into these programs.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Jarvis. Yes, sir. Okay, we're here with Carl Soto. And, you know, what brings you out here to the No Kings protest?
As Mr. Washington said, to stand in solidarity with all of the individuals that has been impacted by these predatory and unlawful executive orders issued by the president that has paved the way for ICE agents all across the country to infringe on the civil rights of not only documented immigrants, but also individuals that are currently undocumented that's been deprived of their due process.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you agree with some of the other protesters out here? They feel that Trump has been abusing his power?
Yes, I'm in full agreement. I do understand that every country has to have law and order. There's policies and provisions in every country that governs the process it takes to become a natural citizen. The U.S. does have a policy that everyone has to follow. The issue that I have is the Trump administration's inability to be impartial when it comes to enforcing the laws that were set before his presidency. What I mean by that is during his campaign, his administration stipulated that they were only going to be setting up task force for undocumented immigrants who came here illegally that were causing or breaking the laws. In other words, criminals. They were going to be going after individuals who have been convicted of serious crimes, who have been out terrorizing or committing unlawful activity. And that was what the message was initially from the Trump administration, but that eventually amended to now they're just going after anyone they feel is undocumented. And now ICE agents, what they're doing all over the country is stopping vehicles. Anyone that they believe may be an immigrant, they are detaining them unlawfully, taking them to undisclosed facilities, terrorizing their families, violently pulling people out of cars. One family was on their way home from the hospital and they were actually rammed off the road by multiple SUVs that contained ICE agents, and it's just evident that now ICE has exceeded their authority and has now enacted their own policy that deviates from federal law and constitutional law just to infringe on the civil rights of documented and undocumented immigrants.
Whew. All right, so you said about full. Thank you. Ain't gonna hold you too long, buddy. All right, thank you.
Good, buddy.
I can't switch up standing for me. Saying trying to hold me back, I break the curse. Talk to God every day like favorite cousin. They know my name around town because I'm buzzing. Yeah. It's past 4 in the morning.